So, how does cheating and infidelity affect children? The short answer is it really hurts them. The longer answer is longer. The magnitude of the injury to the kids depends on the magnitude of the exposure. So, the more elements of cheating and infidelity in the affair that they see, the more, harm they experience. They can feel obligated emotionally to take care, and sometimes even physically. They can feel obligated to take care of the injured parent. In essence, the kids themselves get parentified, where they feel the need to take on the role of a parent to the parent to prevent that parent from further suffering. So if a kid sees his mom being cheated on, that kid is going to feel obligated to take care of mom and maybe not ask for some of the things that he needs. He's also more likely to not share some of his feelings with mom because he doesn't want to burden her with more of, painful feelings. They will start to kind of shut down and withdraw a little more, or they will try to become kind of the perfect kid because they want to compensate for the pain that their injured parent is experiencing. Now, they have a different feeling about the parent who is acting out, the one who's cheating. They can have a lot of anger and rage towards that parent, but they don't feel safe often to express it. They don't want to tell the person who is cheating and make them leave the house more, make them act out more. They also, don't want to tell the injured parent and compound their pain. So as a result, they don't talk about it and they shove a lot of those feelings down, and they are at high risk for becoming, having an avoidant attachment style, right? Because we just shove our feelings down, we ignore them, we don't pay attention to them, we pretend they don't exist, and we just keep going. And you can probably see how over time that would make them a little bit more likely to end up in an affair themselves because they never develop the coping skills to deal with those feelings. These kids will also observe the relationship dynamics between the parents, and they may model some of these same traits and coping skills over time. Kids feel betrayed too by the affair. The affair is a threat to their family, their home, their stability. So they're in a heightened threat state because of the infidelity. So we might see a variety of behaviors in kids who are, living with and observing infidelity in their home. You might see more acting out behavior, more aggression, more depression, more anxiety, more withdrawal, more shutting down. You'll probably see a, declining performance at school, but it can go the other way where we have kids who are trying to be, like I said before, the perfect kid. So you might see, an increased performance at school. That's less common, but it can happen. There's an increased risk of drug use to cope with some of the feelings they can't talk about, an increased risk of self-harm. Their self-esteem definitely plummets, and they're going to probably have some relationship and friendship problems at the time and long-term because they are not learning healthy ways to regulate their emotions and cope with their feelings because both parents are involved in this complicated situation and nobody is taking care of the kiddo. So if this is the situation you're in, I'm so sorry. And the very best thing you can do is help your kid get into therapy with an experienced child therapist who can help guide them through this. It's going to be very nice for your kid to have a third party that they can be completely honest with and not worry about hurting or offending either one of you. If therapy isn't available in your area, then find another trusted adult who's very loving and soft and warm and kind that you can take this kid to talk to. So if it's a grandmother, great. If it's an elder in your church, great. If it's just, a community member that everyone loves and trusts, great. Find somebody for this kid to talk to. And so I think the last thing I'm wondering about is if you were a child who was in one of these situations, if you grew up witnessing and experienced infidelity and cheating behaviors, how did this affect you? We'd like to know, and what could be done What do you think could have been done to help you then? Because there's probably a bunch of parents who are reading these comments who would love to know how to help their kiddos. Okay, let's talk about it. Thank you so much for this great question.